morning. Welcome. It's me, Karen Viloria-Miguel, owner and founder of Canada Bliss, handmade crochet hats and accessories. And if you guys can hear me, just give me a quick thumbs up because I just want to make sure that all the sound and everything is working okay. And also, if you're just logging in, be sure to let me know where you guys are chiming in from. As you all know, I am broadcasting here in Canada, and it is a beautiful day. So today, it's honestly, it feels like forever since I've been online with you guys. It's only been a week since I did my last live, but I'm here and I'm excited to be with you guys. It's funny because I was on one of my friends' live streams recently too, and she hadn't broadcasted for a little bit, so she was feeling kind of nervous. And it's funny because I feel a bit nervous too. I think it's something that requires a little bit of practice. Everything requires practice to kind of keep it fresh, but anyhow, for me today, I'm sure once we get going, it'll be a lot of fun because I have a lot of exciting things to kind of cover with you guys. But first and foremost, I want to welcome you all. So just let me see who is here and where you're coming in for Creative Care Corner. How are you, my friend? It's good to see you. Thank you for logging in today. I'm so excited that you're able to join me. I do miss my luncheon lives, especially when things are kind of going busy. It's just it's a great opportunity to just reconnect and get together again. So I hope you're enjoying a nice lunch or a dinner or whatever meal is closest to you, but just grab a drink or a snack and just enjoy with the rest of us because I've got some exciting stuff to cover today. Hey Yvette, how are you? I'm great. She's another one from Canada. I'm remembering now where some of you guys are from. So thank you for joining in today. To start things off, I do have like some exciting announcements to share with you. And the first one is the reason I've been kind of busy is because I have been putting together some exciting content for you guys. And I have a new upcoming workshop that is for all of you. It's for handmakers and business owners or people who are even thinking about selling their handmade or crochet items. And that is one of the main reasons why I started this channel, because I just love helping others and helping you get on your way so that you could share your creativity and your craft. So it's already in the link below if you can see it. So there's a live workshop, and I'm basically, you will need to register because it is going to be longer than a regular live stream, probably because it's going to be live with me, of course, conducting it. And I'll also be answering questions as well and sharing a lot of information that I probably haven't shared already. But some things that tie together with things that I have already shared. And a lot of it is just, of course, it's to be successful in your handmade or crochet business, or whether you're a knitter or you just really want to take off because as you all know, it's the summer and we're probably like all getting ready for the fall and fall. Actually, we're probably not getting ready for the fall winter, but one of the reasons that a lot of business owners are getting busy right now is because things are opening up. There is a huge opportunity right now for everybody if you kept going with your business, or even during the lockdowns and all that, you were thinking about building it up or giving it a go in terms of starting your handmade ventures and that sort of thing. Now is the time. August is usually always the busiest time for me in terms of preparation. If you were wholesaling, a lot of people they've already got their samples made. They're going out to trade shows or taking part in trade shows that are happening. August is a big time for buyers, because buyers at this time of the year are out looking for things to stock their shelves with for fall and winter. And that is, if you're interested in that is the thing I want to help you with, because in my workshop, there are nuggets in there that will help you with your marketing, your handmade business, and building things up, because September, October, November, December is the busiest time for all retail, including handmakers. So especially for handmakers, we have to be cognizant about making things ahead of time, having things prepared because of the lead time it takes to make these things. Looks like some people are logging in, and I just want to make sure that everybody's I am great. Thank you. I'm all for yarn. I'm fantastic. How are you? How is your summer going? I was just talking about how, even though it's summer, there's a lot of people who are ramping up their businesses and thinking about the upcoming fall season. And whenever August hits, I get into that mode like, okay, am I ready? Are all the things in place? Or I'm executing my plans to make sure that all the plans I have for the upcoming season, for the busy season, are already in place. So generally, so just so you know, the my registration for my upcoming workshop is in the link below, and I encourage you to attend so that you can get tons of masterclass information about handmade business and marketing and promoting your business, so that you can also be prepared for the upcoming craft season, selling season, online season, which for everybody is going to be, I'm certain, busy because we're also opening up, like we're opening, all of the society in general is opening up, and the economy is like starting to move now. People, one thing I've also noticed too this summer, right now, like around August, is there are a lot of jobs that are opening up. Like people are hiring, they're looking to staff up. So probably the unemployment rate will go down. And then you could see a lot of people end up with a little bit more disposable income. And it'll probably be a bit easier a year this fall and winter for people to buy gifts for their loved ones or take care of like expenses and that sort of thing. Things are going to be better, I think, this year, especially with things opening up and more people being able to get out and work and be healthy. So I hope every one of you are also healthy and doing great. You know what? For let me just if you're just logging in now, I just announced that I do have an upcoming masterclass workshop that I will be offering, and the date of the workshop will be August the 19th. So it'll be at 7:30. So it is an invitation only registration event. So I'm going to just drop it in the comments if you want to go ahead and register for the event, because I would love to see you there and share all our golden nuggets. There will be a Q&A. There will be bonuses, because guys, I can't like do stuff without giving little goodies away as well, but things that'll help you guys. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with all of you, and I'll mention it again later. And what else is up with us, my friends? Hello, Joanne. It's good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the live. Oh, there's my little link for the upcoming workshop on August 19th. Don't forget to sign up. And I'm glad your summer is going awesome. Mine's going pretty awesome too. Things are really picking up. People are being more social. My kids are getting out swimming more. I think I probably should get out swimming too. But as I mentioned, I'm already thinking about the fall. But and you know what I'm really enjoying too right now is the Olympics. Have you guys been watching the Olympics? Because I'm addicted to it now. As you know, I did sponsor a friend of mine who went to the Olympics, and I'm happy to say she's back in Vancouver. Unfortunately, she didn't medal, and I'm not sure if anybody got a chance to watch Yvette. Her name's Yvette Young, and she competed in the flyweight category for Taekwondo. And she was this was her first Olympics, but I mean, she's been in the game forever. She's a world champion already. She's in the she's in the Canadian military, and we sponsored her with a hat so that we could raise money to help her, because as you guys know, there's like these athletes, they could really use the support, and a lot of them, they spend a lot of their own time and money traveling to these international events so they can get international experience, increase their ranking, and that sort of thing. So you got to hand it to these people, because they're like completely dedicated in their sport. And I'm gonna today be talking about a lot of things that are similar between what I've learned with entrepreneurship and, of course, also being an athlete. But before we get into that, so you want to stay to the end, because I have some really good goodies today. But anyhow, so let me know where you guys are coming in from. I'll just make sure I don't miss any of the comments. So far, I am. Thank you for everybody. I see that you are asking if I'm doing great, and I am doing absolutely great. I'm so glad to be back on our live and chatting with you guys. And I'm also ramping up more of my content so that I could help you guys through the upcoming fall with any questions that you may have for your handmade business. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop them in the comments. Oh, Joanne, you're from BC. Well, hello, Canadian gal. You know what I'm so proud of? My friend I just mentioned is from BC, so she's actually there right now. She flew from Tokyo right to back to BC. The Canadian athletes are doing so good. We just won another bronze medal in the relay, and I'm so excited for Ande de Grasse because he won gold for the 200 meter, and then we did another one for the decathlon. Like I watched the decathlon, and you got to hand it to these fellas or these athletes. I think the decathlon has to be like, I think that's one of the oldest sports in the Olympics because they have to do all of those events, and it's like a true test of like stamina and all the versatility of you as an athlete. It's amazing. So hands down, I'm finding watching the Olympics so inspiring in terms of like, you know, bucking up and really getting the oomph to really pursue what our goals are for the upcoming fall and winter for our business aspirations. So anyway, I hope you guys are feeling the same, and I hope you're totally getting into some of the exciting things that are happening on TV. I also wanted to say that before we get into, I wanted to talk about like competition and similarities between entrepreneurship and athletes today. But I also want to give a huge shout out. I was hoping she would be logged in by now, but I'm not sure she is. But either way, they can watch this on replay. So if you're watching this on replay, comment in the below replay. But oh, look at this. Canada and Philippines are on fire at the Olympics. Oh, yes. That is, can you believe a Filipino won the weightlifting competition? That is exciting. That is incredible. I've never heard of that happening before. It's so wonderful for the country, so inspiring. And the last time I remember the Philippines winning for something was when it was like bowling was an exhibit sport. So that was incredible. Anyhow, Avis, welcome. It's good to see you. So I'm so happy she's able to log on. And when I was just talking about ramping up our businesses for the fall winter, and Avis is in the middle of ramping hers up too. I'm so proud of her progress, and thank you also for joining me today. But I also want to share with you some exciting happy mail. I've got some happy mail. So I'm going to share with you guys some exciting things that have arrived in the mail, and maybe do a little bit of some shout outs too. So before I do that, I better share my screen and get ready. Oops, there we go. I'm going to do this first. Okay. So first of all, I wanted to thank Mia from Crochet College, my friend. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Let me just show Crochet College. She has her own Instagram channel. YouTube channel. And she does a lot of like, let me just do a little shout out for my friend from Crochet College. Look how cute she is. Are you here, Mia? I just wanted to do a quick shout out for you. So you totally check her out. Follow her, follow along too. She also has an awesome Instagram. And she's just busy. But look at her awesome creations. So give a little shout out and support for our friend Mia, because she also sent me a little bit of happy mail to contribute to our Granny Square Dreamcoat project. So let me show you. She wrote me a very kind and this is Mia here. Yay. And I just have to say, if you've sent anything already for the Granny Square project, just know that it takes a little bit of time to get to Canada. Some of my things that I've mailed to my giveaways that I've sent out to the States are only just arriving now, I hear, because I know the Sharree from Yours Truly by Rose, she just received one of the giveaways that I had sent, and I don't know why it took so long, but anyway, and my love babies, I am wonderful this afternoon. Thank you for asking, and thank you for joining. I just love this card that Mia sent. Look at this. I don't know if it's going to appear back. I'd love a world with women like you running it. Isn't that this is so cute. I love it. Now she wrote a beautiful personal note with her intention inside. But basically, guys, send your intentions out for her mother and father because we'll be putting her beautiful granny square into the dream coat when I have enough granny squares for it. Let me just show you this. I love the colors that she selected. It's a little bit blown out in exposure. Hold on. Let me just get it to focus. It's a little, it might be overblown in an exposure, but I just adore the peach, yellow, white, the color she chose. This girl, Mia, you have an eye for design. I love it. So thank you for your happy mail contribution to the Granny Square. Oh, you can see the colors a little bit better. My favorite colors. Maybe I unconsciously wore the same colors today. But anyway, let's see. Yes, tape measure took forever to get to me, but I got it. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you got it because I was like, honestly, because I'm in Canada, guys, you got to give it time. But anyway, thank you so much, Mia. You are a gifted artisan. And I really thank you for sending this. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to your beautiful creations. I hope you're making tons and tons of stuff for this fall. And guys, check out her YouTube channel too. She makes gorgeous bralettes, as you can see. So, and I have another contribution to the Granny Square project. And I have to give a huge shout out to her as well. You all know this lady, my beautiful Sharree from yours truly, Rose. Thank you. Yes, I did receive it. She messaged me through Bliss by Hand on Facebook last night, and she showed me that she received my giveaway too. It looks like all my US stuff is finally arriving. But she asked me if I received mine, and I just want to know my dear Sharree, that I have received it. And boy, was I just blown away. Guys, let me share this with you. It was so sweet. She sent this beautiful, beautiful card. It was so nicely wrapped when I opened it originally, and I literally opened it this morning because I wanted to do a first reaction on my own. But then when she showed me she received my package to her, I was like, you know what? I think I better open it first just to make sure. And then, oh my gosh, it almost brought tears to my eyes. She wrote, "Thank you so much for all your advice and support. I grow my business." She sent me she sent me a little something for me and my daughter. Let me show you. She sent me these beautiful spa headbands, and I can totally rock these. So she like, I won't style it right now, but anyway, it's like gorgeous. I love these spa headbands, and it's so funny because I just recently did a spa peel, and if I knew that there were spa headbands in them, I would have probably worn them to my like facial, but I was saving them to open for the live stream. But anyway, she gave me 2 of these. What a sweetie. Thank you so much. And look, she has her branding all done. I'm going to share her site with you in a minute. Oh my gosh, beautiful. I love your labels. They're gorgeous. And also, she sent a contribution for the Granny Square. Isn't that adorable? Look at that. She's got her label here. I really like her label, how it has like the like embossing on it. Sorry, it's upside down. So check. I'm working opposite here. Check that out. That is so pretty. I like how she incorporates the color rose into her label, and then she put a rose on there. This is gonna look gorgeous on the coat. I can't wait to incorporate the applique, the rose that she put onto the Granny Square onto it as well. Absolutely gorgeous. And get this too. She also is a independent consultant for Rodan and Fields. So she sent me a little sample, which is super cute. I'm going to hold it over here so there's not as much shadow. So she sent me a sample. And you know what? I was super impressed. She sent me a bunch of samples, which is so nice. This is an instructions of where to put it, because we all know that I don't know what to do with these. I don't have a lot of, I rely on people to escort me through how to deal with the face regime, but she also observed my face color and sent me these samples for like concealer. And I thought it's liquid makeup, but like, thank you. That is so like so nice of you to. She sent me the colors that kind of would match my colors, and I thought that was brilliant. Like, wow, you've got a skill. Like, no wonder you're working with Rodani Fields, because you have a knack for knowing color and face. And oh my gosh, thank you so much. But friends, if you are just, thank you again. And oh, I wanted to share with you her site as well. So Sharree, she has her own YouTube channel as well. So please check her out, follow her as well. She's got great stuff, and it's all like, there is crochet in here, but it's clear she does other things too. I believe she can make custom signs as well, and she has a gorgeous Instagram happening here. So please go ahead and check her out. She's one of our friends here on the channel, and she always logs on, so you can catch her in the lives a lot of the time as well. So Happy Mail, yep. It is fun to get Happy Mail. So thank you very much. They are pretty, and the color schemes, I just love them. Like the purples, the pinks, whites, absolutely gorgeous. So yes. And if you are just, oh, hello, Handmade Designs. Good to see you. Thank you for chirping in. I'm glad that you're able to join us today. And if you are just joining us, I just wanted to remind you that also I just announced that I have an upcoming workshop scheduled. Now it's a registration only event, and I'll be sharing tips and promotional tips and advice on crochet business, because I know a lot of us are ramping up. So I'm going to put a link here for you guys to go ahead and register if you would be interested, because there'll be a lot of golden nuggets of information that I'll be sharing at this workshop. So anyway, thank you guys for all logging in and supporting our friends at Yours Truly by Rose, as well as Crochet College. These are friends that we always see online, and they're fun to see too. Now, one of the things I was talking about was first of all, what I'd love to hear from you guys, what things you are ramping up for this fall. Are you planning on selling your items? And if so, like, what kind of things are you working on? Go ahead and mention them in the comments. And in the meantime, I wanted to talk about, it's interesting because while I was doing the promotion for my friend in the Olympics, a reporter called, and they were asking me questions about, how I got started, and how I got started in Taekwondo, and how I got to know my friend Yvette, who went to the Olympics, and also how I got started in a crochet business. And for those of you who don't know or haven't seen my first video, I was always a crocheter. Like I was, from as far as I can remember, I always knew how to crochet. I watched my mom doing it from when I was young. And then one day, I remember the day she taught me how to crochet. She was sewing something, and I wanted to make something for my Cabbage Patch Kids. So she taught me how to start crocheting. So I started making things. And then throughout my life, I just kind of built on the things that she taught me, because she taught me how to single crochet and double crochet. And then from there, I used, I don't know, books and diagrams. And then even as a kid, I didn't have access to going to like Walmart and getting patterns. So I would make up like stitches. So even way back, I would make up stitches. But basically, when I got older, how did I get into Taekwondo? Trust me, the story comes all together. I got into Taekwondo because a bunch of my cousins are quite into the martial arts. And one of them, it was already competing at a national level, and the other one was teaching, and she was competing at a international level. And so whenever I was heading home, I was working at the bank at the time, they would be like, if you're driving past Toronto, why don't you just come to the club? And I'd never thought about getting into martial arts ever in my life. But then I was like, okay, you know what? I need to work out, so I'll give it a try. And they made it sound really easy. Like, it's not hard. You just kick and punch. We'll help you through it. And I thought, oh, okay. I showed up and I'm like, yeah, this is a good workout, but I was hooked. And then it was fun for me because on the way home from work, I mean, I was single at the time. I would go home from from the bank, and if anyone's worked at a big corporate financial industry, it can be draining. Like you're mentally drained, but your body hasn't worked out. So you need a place for like your energy to go, or else you just feel physically worse. Does that sound familiar to anybody? So I even get that way now. If I find myself too stagnant, I have to, and I feel like, oh, I need more rest. Chances are I don't need more rest. I probably need to go out for a walk or a run because my body needs to kind of like match the energy level that my brain has been outputting. And I probably have to do something a little bit, like a mindless kind of workout that'll at least get me sweating, or at least follow along on a good like yoga class so that I get the movement going throughout my body. So that's just me. And anyway, this all ties in. So through my years as oh, let me just catch up with with some of my comments. I did a poll on IG and asked what designs my friends and family would buy. Sneaky. You know what? It's not sneaky research. That is exactly the kinds of stuff you need to be doing for your business. And I hope you log into my workshop or register for my workshop on August 19th, because I've got lots of golden nuggets to continue helping you with that aren't sneaky. They're just research. Like it's stuff you need to do as a business person and somebody who's doing market research. And Yvette's, I just finished 2 scarves and I'm working on beanies to match, and I'm planning to do some shows when it's allowed to be opened. Oh, I can't wait for shows. I do miss them. They do take a lot out of you, but I think you were logged on when we covered like craft show tips and selling tips and that sort of thing. But there's a certain aspect of shows that I really like, probably because, after you get everything set up, like exercise and thinking, it ties together your mind and your body. You're physically there and you're mentally there. And to interact with people, it requires a little bit of mental game, right? So that's one of the reasons that I feel like through the years while I was in martial arts, I felt like, I built up a lot of mental stamina in terms of like competition, not giving up, and like thinking on your feet. And I find that a lot of those attributes carry over into entrepreneurship. So if you guys ever competed in anything, whether like you were on like the debate team, or whether you were on a team sport or an individual sport, chirp it in. Let me know what you guys have done in the past. But when the reporter was asking me about my experience knowing Yvette and Taekwondo, I told him that I said, you know what? There's a lot of similarities once I decided to start my own business that have to do with being an athlete. And one of them is the first is your mental game. If you watch these Olympians and you look at the look on their face, you can almost tell when like the nervousness is going to affect their performance. And the really great caliber athletes work in synchronicity with their body and their mind, and they don't let it's so much harder said than done, because we all know we reach points where we're trying things that are difficult, and we struggle with it. I admit right now I'm actually doing some projects in my own business that I think, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I can figure this out, or if it's going to be doable. And even if it's doable, is it going to be a success? It's exactly the same thing in athletics. And I'm glad I had that experience in athletics because it totally carries over to entrepreneurship. Let me give you an example. Like when I was learning how to spar, we had to do certain combinations, and you had to throw these combinations when you were in certain situations with your opponent. And when you're learning them, you struggle. But if you allow it to if you practice it enough to become second nature, then you can count on it to be there when the situation arises. And it's the same thing when it comes to entrepreneurship. The fear you encounter comes along when you're not familiar with it and you feel kind of oofy, kind of like doing it, like using new technology. You guys were here when I was using new technology on this live stream, and it was goofy. I'd go like I still to this day I go sometimes you get a blank screen, or I'll screw up some of my like technology. But if you practice it enough, it becomes second nature and you can count on it when you really need it to happen. The same thing comes when you're overcoming objections, when it comes to like interacting with people. I used to think, I don't know if I could like run a business. But then when I did my first few shows, people would say things to me like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to say when people say to me like at a show, oh, I know somebody who can make that, or I'm a knitter, I can make that myself. But now, like, if you rely on your good sense and your past practice, you can overcome anything just by like relaxing in what you know and practicing what you've done in the past. So I would, for example, say like, oh, you're a knitter? Well, that's great. And then I would talk to them about the craft, and then maybe I'd get referrals from other people who they refer to the booth, because they're not going to crochet for everybody or knit for everybody. So you just have to kind of like leave your options open. Or even when I'm coaching people, sometimes like on occasion I'll get things that I have to get back to people on, because maybe it's something new that somebody's asked me. But if I rely on my past experience, and then I can know that I can absolutely help them, because I have a proven track record of knowing how to overcome that barrier. And if I were to encounter those kind of barriers, I could still figure my way through it, because to this day I am still overcoming barriers in my own business. And I can always count on myself that if I focus on it and I allow for myself to like relax, then the thoughtfulness and my experience and the certainty about succeeding will come through. So when you watch the athletes, the looks in their eyes, like when I was watching the decathlete Warner win the gold medal, whenever I watch him do the javelin, there are some people who like, they get this look on their face where, they're nervous. And if they begin executing before they kind of wipe away the nervousness, it's not second nature to them, because they're struggling through the fear feeling to execute the activity. But if people kind of rely on themselves, to rely on the things that they've practiced, their knowledge in it, and then execute like they've always practiced, then it'll work out. Well, it'll usually work out most of the time, but that's the thing. It does require a lot of practice. That's why a lot of people who are consistent with what they do succeed. But the thing is, what are you being consistent in? You have to be consistent in the things when it comes to business, with driving traffic to your business, growing your customer base, and then driving the sales. Those are the key areas that you need to focus on in order to grow your business. And those were always the things that I would reflect on. Another thing that I found that is so similar to athletes and entrepreneurship is visualization. You're thinking like, how do you overcome these scary things? But it's almost like it's impossible to just say, don't have fear. Oh yeah, everyone has fear. Do I have fear? Like all the time. I hadn't done a live for a week and I was already nervous just logging in today. But same thing. If you practice on the times that you're not in front of a camera or doing your business or craft, and you visualize succeeding in what you're doing, that is almost equivalent to doing it in real life. I don't know if you've ever tried that, but as some of you know, I do sing as well. And when I was doing my classical vocal training, there are times when I would lose my voice. You catch a cold, you catch a bug, you lose your voice, you can't sing, you can't even go to your practice because you can't vocalize. And then you can't work on what you need to, like anything in your repertoire or whatever. One thing I learned from athletes as well as my vocal teacher was that if you visualize and just practice it in your mind, you still trigger the muscle memory and the synapses in your mind and brain to be able to execute it properly when push comes to shove. So if for whatever reason you can't do as much as you like, or it's not working out the way, visualize the success, and not just the intricacies of the task, but visualize the outcome of how it's going to feel. So I know that, well, perhaps some of you are like, well, I already know these things, but if you're not accustomed with doing those things, give yourself 30 minutes before bed to visualize the things that you want to succeed in the upcoming year for yourself and your business. It works for everything. I swear by it. And it's not like a hokey religious thing or anything. Literally, physically, success visualizing it works. It truly does activate your muscles and your mind to work together when it needs to work, when it does need to happen. Same thing happens like when you're trying to overcome objections, when you're like at a show or online. Just picture yourself doing it. Now, when it comes to task like things, because when some things that you have to do that are task like learning new technology and that sort of thing, those things, it's always best to find somebody who you can mirror or who can mentor you and guide you through the tough things, because there are times when you do need some kind of guidance. And I admit too, there are people I go to who guide me through things that I am unfamiliar with, or at least get me in the right mindset to approach it so that I can kind of problem solve it for myself. If you have any questions about this, or this seems like off the wall or strange, leave it in the comments, or I mean DM me, because I'd love to hear what your questions are. But either way, those are a couple similarities that I've found with being an athlete as well as having a business. And it's interesting too, because I threw like my vocal training in there too. Let me go to the comments and see what you guys are saying. So glad to hear that oh yes, things are going well. Let's see what else we have. Oh, you have a lot of work in progresses need to, yes, work in progress, follow through. Honestly too, it's interesting. There's a time too when you have to, do you ever find that when you're working on a project, there's a time, it's hard to determine sometimes when it's time to cut bait. You know that term, Fisher cut bait? Well, it's like, do I let this project go because it's just so awful that I shouldn't finish it, or should I put it aside and wait till inspiration hits? So I understand the feeling of a lot of work in progresses. I try and not have more than like 3 work in progresses at the same time. But sometimes when things are just, you know what would be fun? If you guys could take a picture of your work in progress bin. I have a work in progress bin where it just keeps kind of growing, or it's just projects that I'm like, that's not good. Like they're never going to make it to market, and I can't even give it to somebody because it's so wonky looking. It's so funny. I'd love to see everybody's picture of that. I did a poll of, oh yeah, you did a poll on your IG. So market research is always important when it comes to building your business. Oh look, Yvette, you were very productive. 2 scarves and working on beanies to match. I'm planning to do some show. Oh yes, when in Toronto, I think it'll open up eventually. Actually, Yvette, I know you're in the GTA. A friend of mine, she owns she owns the Toronto Art Crawl. I know. So if you're in Canada, you're looking to do a lot of outdoor shows. If you check her out, her name is Nadia Lloyd. She also does the handmade masks for the Toronto Raptors. Okay, she's like personal friends with like Nick Nurse. Yeah. So Nadia and I go way back. We actually were in one of our first shows together. And her and I should wear one of her pieces one time. Her and I were in opposite side booths. And then it was one after I came back from the Emmys once. And she was like, how the heck did you get like Viola Davis and Whoopi Goldberg? And then we became good friends. Both of us are Geminis, I know, but we are just, our minds are constantly go, 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 go. And she is a lovely person. She always works on helping other women. And she's an amazing artist, and you have to check her out. She's also a painter. So her commissioned work is incredible. What she does is she paints, and then she also used to make yoga wear. So she would paint, put it on kimonos and her yoga wear. So she'd take the print and do that. But she's so busy with commission work. And she also does the Toronto Art Crawl, which is running because it's an outdoor show. So if you want to apply for that show, Yvette, or if you're in Toronto, any of you, let me know. I'd love to refer you to Nadia, because she also does shows in the Grand Hall, and she also does another show by the beaches. I think it's called Pooches and something, but It's all for like dogs and pets and that sort of thing. And everyone brings their pets and they shop for like cute bougie stuff for their pets. But anyway, this woman is incredible. You have to check her out, Nadia Lloyd. I'm giving her a shout out. I'm going to let her know that I mentioned her. But if you're looking to do an outdoor show event, you could totally apply for a show. Let her know that I contact, like I'll put a link into the description so you can try doing her show if you're interested in doing an outdoor show this year. If not, if things open up by the summer, she also does a winter show around end of November, early December. Not my sport, but high school band. She'd enter competitions. Truly, practice makes perfect. That's right. Muscle memory has a lot to be said. So a lot of the times, and it's funny because when other things fail, muscle memory, whether it has to do with like, or it has like, it's more, muscle memory is probably more to do with the brain kind of kicking yourself into action. So yeah, even like like I find that wind instruments are a lot like singing, because if you can't hear yourself, sometimes you can still do what you want just by muscle memory. So it's interesting. Let's see here. Oh, look, we have a friend from Scotland. I'm able to join from Scotland. My friend Martina, what time is it in Scotland? I'm so excited to hear that you are joining us from way abroad and like running cross country in high school. And you trained as a classical vocalist in high school. Never thought about how training can it is. Draw on that. Draw on those skills from your sports and from your artistic ability. It's no wonder you're a hand maker. Casey, again, what do you make? Are you a knitter or crocheter, or what is it that you make? I'd love to hear. You'll probably be surprised how much of your creativity and your stamina goes in to your business. That's another thing. If I find that my physical stamina depletes or I'm not working out, my business suffers. You know why? Because I get tired quickly when I'm dealing with a lot of orders or dealing with a lot of business. I feel, when I'm physically exhausted, I feel mentally exhausted, and then I slow down altogether. So having physical and mental stamina always helps. And these are one of the connections that I made from being in sports as well as running a business. So that's why I find a lot of people who I trained with in my Taekwondo gym tend to also become very successful people. Like if I could go through some of the great people that I've trained with and the things that they're doing, like Master Chung, our coach, yeah, he knew how to create our mindset so we didn't give up. Please, can I have her information and contact, please? You know what? Let me do this right now for all of you, because if you're looking to do a trade show, Nadia Lloyd, if any of you are looking to come up to Toronto and try a trade show, this is her site, Nadia Lloyd. And she makes the Toronto Raptors basketball masks. I also bought my mask directly from her. I know we don't need masks as much as we used to, but here's all her commissioned work. And let me show you the Toronto Art Crawl. Toronto Art Crawl. This is a show that's an outdoor show that is actually running, one of the few that can be outside. So my friend, I'm going to put this application into the comments right here. Okay, so check her out and you can apply for her show. It's in Liberty Village. You probably know where that is. It's downtown Toronto. And look at all the artisans she has. I've done one of her shows. She invited me, and I've referred a lot of people that I've been mentoring into her shows as well. They do fantastic. I love the Grand Hall when it's inside, like indoors at Christmas time, because it's so beautiful and elegant. Like there are old columns, and if you bring like twinkling lights into your booth, it is gorgeous. She also does auctions for artworks. If you're a painter, fantastic. Follow her on Instagram too. She's like, oh, she's so gifted. But so check her out if you're in the Toronto area or want to come up to Toronto and do an outdoor show. You've crocheted and you learned to knit and dye. I'm still at the beginning of starting a business. Very cool. You know what? I want to learn how to dye yarn, but it's not like I'm not too busy already, right? I really, really want to learn how to dye yarn because it looks so fun. Look, literally, I was going to share this on another post, but there is a yarn mill in the city next to where I live in Mississauga. They're called Spin Right, and yeah, they make Spin Right yarn. Anyway, they send me all the samples and all the textures of all the raw yarn, and some of them are just incredible. Like the these you have to dye yourself, but some of them, look at this. Some of them already have like, let me just show you here. Some of them have the sparkly already like spun into the yarn. This is the one I'm really interested in. Look at that. This is a nice high gauged alpaca yarn. It's about like a 4, but I can custom dye it any color I want. And there's just so many of them. You know, I should probably just dedicate a video showing you that, like, all the tweeds, and the exposure isn't set today on today's live to show these things up close, but look at that. There's the tweeds. Oh my gosh. I want so bad to like order and then dye them the color that I want. They're just amazing. And I'm into watching the videos where they dye yarn. But yes, summer, great for summer or November. Definitely, if things open up, log in, apply for her November show. Wow, that's fantastic. Martina, so it's 5:40 in Scotland. So this is like a lunch and dinner. Like it's a dinner and live for you. And here again is my friend's Toronto art crawl link. And let's see here. I crochet, but I started learning to knit and dye. Yep. I want to learn how to dye. If you do, I'd love to do a box of just our community, like doing maybe like a subscription box or like a sample box of all the yarns that we can dye as a group and distribute them to one another. Wouldn't that be fun? I have a family in Orangeville and visit next year. Martina, you should visit them when the art crawl's happening. Bring some of your handmade goods and then enter the art crawl. Me too. Saf, hello. When did you arrive? I didn't know you were here. It's good to see you. Yes. Aren't they beautiful? Isn't it exciting? Like you know, we probably all have the same yarn addiction, because now that, like, I really hope more yarn shops will open up. In my area, they went out of business. That's why I shop directly from the wholesale warehouse. But there's something about quaint yarn shops that I absolutely adored. I even debated on whether or not I should open up a yarn shop, but I've just, like, there are so many things that I really want to accomplish before I open up a boutique, in terms of like helping other people and making content and coaching and that sort of thing. But what I really miss is going to the quaint yarn shops, and just looking at all of the different yarn they get from various places. It's not the same as, like, waiting for a box to arrive where we get one skein. You want to see, sometimes you just want to see a whole bunch of yarn, right? And so I can't wait now that Toronto's opened up, I can't wait to, like, I can hang out indoors in a yarn shop and just try out all the different things, try designs with the different kinds of yarn we can get our hands on. I love alpaca. For alpaca is my jam. Okay. What's your favorite gauge and fiber yarn? That is a conversation to be had. Mine is, oh my gosh, my favorite is always for alpaca. If there's a blend, blends are great, but I tend to like crochet in smooshy baby alpaca, and I do import my yarn, but this yarn I have here, that's why I really want to patronize like Canadian spun yarn, because this stuff is amazing. They also invited me to their mill to observe the making process. That would be so much fun. I'll take my camera and I'll shoot that vlog live, because friends, that's gonna be fun. Oh, I wish we could do so many things. I wish we could have a meetup here and do a tour of the spinning mill. Wouldn't that be fun? I have all these ideas. Like, can this stuff happen? We should make a Granny Square intention that this happens, where we can do a meetup in Toronto and visit all these amazing yarn places in Toronto. We should, like, it would be like a bus tour, like if you go to New York, you could do the Sex and the City tour where they visit all the sites. We should visit like a yarn tour. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Oh, you're hilarious, Saf, lurking. Yes. Oops. Oh, you're always welcome. If you guys have questions, you know that I'm here for you. If there's any way that I can help you get into shows or prepare you, if you ever want me to critique like your booth setup, I am here for you. I love doing that stuff. Even Ask Avis, I helped curate her line for her upcoming fall season, and we're still working on it. So, and if you're just logging in, please know that I have an upcoming workshop. And I'll mention this again for those of you who have been here since the beginning. You're probably like, not the workshop again. But yes, I have a workshop because I want to be able to help you guys get off on the right feet, your right foot for fall and winter. One of the main reasons why I'm having this workshop, it's a sign up registration, is because one, probably the length of the workshop will be a bit longer because I'm going to host a Q&A afterwards, and it will be live. And also, I want you guys to, or I want everybody who hops on my channel and wants to know how I got to where I am, to know the things that I did that I really doubled down on in order to get where I am with my business. And you know what? It's funny. I'm going to like kill a misconception right now. Everyone's like, oh, you met stars and all that stuff. That's why I'm successful. I'm not successful because I met stars. Like I have pictures of like people in my hats. But do you want to know when I took off? Is when I was doubling down on the activities that make a business. You can have tons of pictures in your hats, but often like in your products. But the truth is, even if like you see a star in, I don't know, wearing a t-shirt that like catches on or something like that, there will be like a peak and a lull. Like it will go out. You guys all know media. 2 weeks and everyone's forgotten what the biggest news was last week, right? You may experience spikes because you get press or word or that sort of thing, but it's the consistency in the things that get you loyal customers and like marketing opportunities to generate sales. Those are the things that get you a business, that build a business, that grow a business, that help you maintain your life as a business owner. So if you're thinking about even starting a business, or you're at a point where your business, you're like, where do I go next? You want to totally check it out, because there are different ways that you can go. I've also made huge mistakes. I've made mistakes in my business where I've doubled down on like stuff that I hadn't thought so much about, but I thought I needed to be doing just because everybody else was doing it. And I wasted a ton of money. I made huge mistakes. I hired the wrong people for things. Friends, I should do a whole video on just my my crazy mistakes and how I learned from them. Because again, one of the reasons I started this channel is so you don't make those mistakes and waste a huge amount of like money, effort, and heartache. There are times that I made such huge mistakes that I thought I was like, I should just give up. I should give up, because it's like there was no one forging a path. There were no crochet summits. There were no people that I could follow that were doing anything that I needed to know how to do. So I kind of pulled together all little bits and pieces from every aspect of my life. That's why I got my motivation from Taekwondo. I got my visualization from vocalizing. Like I still, to this day, I think I've mentioned this before I go on live, I still do vocal warm-ups. Like I do an alto and a soprano warm-up so that I can loosen up, because mentally, I connect my mind and body when I do these things that I've done in the past that center me. So, and before I do a show, what do? A vocal warm-up. It has nothing to do with singing. But what do you do that helps you get centered so that you're brave enough to take on some of the things that you want to accomplish in life? So, and if you can't do those because it's like you're stuck in your car or whatever, you visualize it. So anyway, that was pretty much the my messages for today's session for my lunch and live. And it's almost the end. Can you believe it? Guys, I missed you so much. Okay, can I just tell you, missing that 1 week of not going live, I really enjoy doing this and seeing you guys online. And I hope that we'll get an opportunity to help each other grow your business over the fall and the winter, because there's so much to learn. And don't forget to check out these people. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so if you're in Toronto or you're looking for an outdoor show, you want to like a way to be. It is a juried show, but because hers are more quaint and she really is dedicated to helping hand makers, like she will jury your show, but she will just check out what you have to make. You'll submit pictures, and if you don't know how to enter into a juried show or fill out those applications, then go back to my live screen stream or DM me and let me know, and I'll help you out. Okay. And don't forget to check out Mia from Crochet College. It doesn't look like she got to log in today, but she sent me this gorgeous granny square. So I'm gonna put if you guys have still been thinking about doing a granny square, or in your projects, if you end up with extra yarn, and you can send me one for our dream coat, and you have a special intention that you would like us to think about or pray for, then I'll leave the mailbox below. And Sharree, my dear Sharree from Bliss by Hand group. Oh, and if you haven't joined our Bliss by Hand group, then be sure to join that too. Who sent my daughter and I these gorgeous spy headbands. And I wish I'd opened the container, like the happy mail, before I got my facial, because I would have worn these. But you know what? The spa invited me back, so I have another opportunity. And also she sent me this gorgeous, gorgeous granny square and made a rose for yours truly by Rose. And when she sees this, she'll probably say, hey, but I know she's a super busy project manager too. So I understand that. So this is Crochet College's site, and then yours truly by Rose. I love her style. You could see that she likes stitches, some certain stitches particularly. You can see her style coming out in her headbands as well. And let's see here. And also, friends, if you have some things that you would like to share with me and shout out, then please, we are like, I love this community. And also, don't forget to sign up for the workshop on August the 19th, because I will be there. And it's almost the end of our lunch and live. But oh, so sweet. I missed you too. I know, it's this is one of the best things. I'm glad that we have this opportunity to get together and share information. And don't forget to comment if there's anything that you would like me to cover in an upcoming live, because I'm happy to help any of you guys out, or if you want me to do any critiques of things, because I'm here to help you. Okay, so friends, have a safe, healthy, and happy hand making life. And I hope you all are great until next week. Enjoy your summer. Bye, friends.